Welcome again, viewers and listeners, to our second session. I am Grace Covey, your host once again. Today, June 25th, we join the world in making World Vitiligo Day. And please don't forget to join us on our social media pages, Facebook at Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, on YouTube at MICT Namibia. We are shining a spotlight on this skin condition to promote understanding, break stigma, and support those affected. Joining us in studio today to help raise awareness on this disease is Dr. Nambumba Amundaba from the NIP, which is Namibia Institute of Pathology. Let's quickly go through the mandate of the NIP. The NIP was created by Namibia Institute of Pathology Act 99, number 15. Hereinafter referred to as the Act, read together with the Companies Act 2004, Act number 28 of 2004. Section 5 of the Act sets out 5 objects of the NIP, which are to take over the medical laboratory services from the Ministry of Health and Social Services, to operate medical laboratories, and provide laboratory services for the private and public sector on a commercial basis, to conduct research into the pathology of diseases and perform medical laboratory services relating to the occurrence, cause, prevention, diagnosis, or treatment of any illness, disease, or mental defect in the human beings, to establish new medical laboratories, and finally to promote staff training for medical laboratories. Now, Doctor, welcome to the Garmin Information Center. Please once again briefly tell us about yourself and what you do.
Thank you so much. I'm really pleased to be here to raise awareness on vitiligo, which is one of the diseases that we have to. It's an important factor in our community and in our country at large. I am Nambumba Amundaba from the Namibian Institute of Pathology. I joined the team in 2019. They're the ones who sent me to school, and now I'm back to give back to the country. Yes.
Thank you, Doctor. Now let's begin with the basics. What is vitiligo?
So vitiligo is actually when you see white patches on the skin of certain individuals because of this loss of pigment, which is melanin, because ideally the body is destroying its own melanocytes, which is the one that give the pigment to the skin. That's how we've got different skin tones in the community, black, white, brown. So it's because of the melanin. So now when the body starts destroying itself, and now that's when now this vitiligo starts to form on the skin of the patients. Yes.
So it can happen to anyone with any skin color?
Yes, it can absolutely happen to anyone with any skin color, but most of the time it's usually seen in the dark skin people. Yeah.
Okay, Doctor. What causes it, and can it be inherited?
So vitiligo, most of the time, if in the family there is actually patients that have suffered before from vitiligo, it can also be seen in other family members, but it's caused by autoimmune. It's an autoimmune disease, especially patients that are suffering from thyroid conditions, and also patients that are suffering from lupus or lichen sclerosis, some of the skin condition. They can actually find themselves suffering from this vitiligo. So yeah, it can be, but it's also caused by autoimmune conditions, like the one that I've mentioned. Yes.
How common is vitiligo in Namibia?
It is. It's common. Like, let me say, in a queue, for example, if you are doing your clinic in the clinicians, out of that queue, at least that day, they'll see about 3 to 4 patients in the queue that are there for the doctor for the skin conditions. There will be patients with vitiligo. So it is common here and there, but quite common. Let's say 20 to 30% maybe of the population. Yeah.
Okay. How is this disease diagnosed?
So vitiligo, it's actually mostly diagnosed clinically by the clinicians, whereby when they are examining the patients to look at the skin, then actually that's when they clinically diagnose it. But however, because as I've said before, it's an autoimmune disease, when the clinicians take bloods, now that's when the NIP come in, the lab, whereby they send this blood to the lab, and then we look at them for the thyroid conditions or lupus by testing their blood. Hence, informing them that the patient has any autoimmune condition. And then also, very rare, but usually they take a biopsy in rare conditions where it's sent to the laboratory. Now that's when it comes to us, me, the histopathology. Then I actually have to look at it under the microscope, where then under the microscope, when you look at the skin biopsy, you look at the number of melanocytes. Now, when you're looking at the melanocytes, you are looking at the using the special stains immunohistochemistry, which is the S100 and Melan A, which you have it also at the Namibian Institute of Pathology. So that's how it's diagnosed. So both clinically and also by the lab assisting the clinicians in some of the situations to help in diagnosing this condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, viewers and listeners, please don't forget to be part of the conversation on our social media platforms, on Facebook at Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, and on our YouTube channel at MICT Namibia. Doctor, back to you. Can this vitiligo be treated or cured?
So currently, there's not any permanent treatment for vitiligo, but what actually it does is that it helps to stop spreading the disease, and it also helps to make it not to worsen the disease. So how is it done? It's actually done by giving the patient some medication, some steroids, and also some cream, which are modulators that help to make the pigmentation not to worsen or just to reduce the vitiligo from spreading elsewhere on the body. But permanently being cured, no, it's not possible. But then also, so it's very also important that the patients that are living with vitiligo, they use a sunscreen to protect their skins, like wearing, the hat, long sleeved and long, so just to protect their skin from the sunburn. But permanent cure, no, it's not there.
But it's controllable.
But it's controllable now by using this, the creams, and also some phototherapy, light therapy that they usually give in the hospitals to these patients. Yeah.
Okay. Doctor, what message do you have for Namibians living with vitiligo?
So, as I've said before, as we are raising awareness on these conditions, that patients should know that they are not alone with this condition. Other people around the world, they are suffering from this same condition, and that they should seek both medical and emotional support, because I know it's something that can actually become an emotional thing on the patients, and they might feel a bit of stigma from the population, especially, and some might even accuse the patients of doing maybe witchcraft. Because, you are seeing a patient with a discoloration in certain parts of the body, and then you wonder. And also there are patients whereby they only have this discoloration actually just on the lips, and then they will be accused that, they are abusing alcohol, especially in our sector in the villages. Most of the time, that's what the population will be telling that patient. So they should just know that they are not alone. They can seek help. They should protect themselves by wearing clothes and also using sunburn, and then just seeking medical help. And then just to know that they are not alone, and there are other more people suffering from this condition. Yeah.
And what message do you have for anybody living with people that has vitiligo?
So to the family members and also to the population at large, I think, as we all know, is that beauty is not defined by a skin tone. So we should render support to these patients that we have them in our population, and not to stigmatize them, to victimize them, and make them to feel more emotional. So to help them in their mental health. So just to be there for them, and then form groups if we have to in our communities, and for them to also seek medical help. But otherwise, as a nation, we need to know that it's not only albinism, that is the one that's more common in Namibia, but there's also vitiligo, whereby it's not the whole skin that is changed, but certain patches on the skin, as previously on the micrographs that we just put on the label there. So in large, it's just for us, it's both the health sector and the population at large to support these patients. Yes.
So on this Commemoration Day, any programs or anywhere where these patients can gather for more information?
I think currently there's no any commemoration, but apart from the World Day, that is a World Vitiligo Day. But in other countries, yes, they do raise awareness. But I'm hoping in the future we can also do the same thing that we do for the albinism, for the patients with albinism, whereby we also have this commemoration for the vitiligo patients, so that they know that there is a community at large, and it's not only them suffering from that. Primarily starting in the villages, because that's where most of the stigma is coming from. Yes.
Okay. And finally, Doctor, how can the Namibian public support this cause?
So I think it's going to involve both the government and also the population. So the government, meaning the Ministry of Health and Social Services, coming in together with the Namibian Institute of Pathology, and then also now the population at large, whereby, as I've just mentioned previously, that we have a commemoration with the albinism. So maybe we can start off also doing this for the vitiligo patients, so that they know of this, and then in return, we are also educating these patients, and then the population will also come in. And the patients that are suffering from this, I think they'll be more comfortable to come to this commemoration. They will know that they are not alone. So I think it has to come together from both the Namibian Institute of Pathology and also the government, Ministry of Health and Social Services, to come together, and then we can start commemorating like that when we are also educating our population.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Doctor, any final remarks before we conclude this discussion?
So it's just, I think, to tell the patients that are suffering in silence that, number one, they are not alone. Most of, if not all, we are aware of this skin condition, and that it's not spiritual, it's not contagious, it cannot be spread from one body to another, or from just one person rubbing off the other one, and it's not caused by alcohol, it's an autoimmune condition, and that they should not be scared, they should approach the medical to get help, and also get emotional support. And just to feel, they should feel safe, they should not be scared. It's not spiritual, and it's not contagious. So I think that's what I want to tell the patients that are suffering from the vitiligo. Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for this awareness on the vitiligo. And please, Namibia, don't suffer in silence. We are here to support you. You can always visit the NIP for more information on their website. That is all we had for you for this morning. Do join us again next time for another fruitful discussion at the Government Information Center. From me and the rest of the crew, it's goodbye for now.